Welcome back to the vlog, guys. Welcome here to Candrian with Jeff. We're heading back over to Hoskins today on a 28-minute flight. We just landed here just a couple minutes ago, and someone had put a, what are the cones, the runway cones, almost in the middle of the runway, and we came about a foot from hitting it. So yeah, that was exciting, and it's very slippery out today. It's been raining all night here for the past couple of days, I think. So, but it's beautiful weather back in Hoskins. We'll go up to, I think, about 8,000 to get over top of the layer of clouds to get over the top of there. Moresby 6622 November Tango Zulu, taxi.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby.
Moresby November Tango Zulu, taxi, Candrian, Hoskins, 3 POV.
November Tango Zulu, roger, copy taxi, stand by for traffic.
November Tango Zulu. All stations Candrian, November Tango Zulu, taxiing Candrian. We'll be back taxiing for Hoskins. We'll be on climb 8,000, all stations Candrian. Oh, it's really long right here. Nice that they cut the whole parking bay though, huh? We can go to the top, yeah.
You want to go to the top? Okay.
Yeah, it'll give us just a little bit more room. It's only wispy for 2 feet tall. So as it's longer like this, and maybe one wheel might be potentially in the longer grass, it's going to drag more on that side. So just be aware of that and ready for that in case it wants to pull
drag
off.
And being ready to correct with the rudder and a brake if I need to.
You can brake, and you can also, we can actually turn around before all that tall grass right here.
All stations Candrian, Kodiak, November Tango Zulu is taking off runway freeform for Hoskins.
Alright, so hold the brakes until we slide. Alright, airspeed's coming up. Gauges are green. I can go a little bit more on the power. And continue and rotate.
Alright, well, on the way in here we had like a kind of a broken to overcast layer at like 3,400. It's kind of clear, you can kind of see there's some holes out in front of us. We'll get above those. There'll be a little bit of a layer. We'll climb up to 7,000. That's what we did on the way here, wasn't it?
It was, yep.
And that got us over just the mountains that we needed to.
Exactly.
And then on the way down to the Hoskins, we were talking kind of on the way over here what we could talk about in this video. And I've shown you guys before quite often about the descent profile, but I'm going to go more into depth into that because there's a lot of information that I don't even use that might be helpful to you if you fly with the G1000 either in a plane or in a simulator. Moresby 6622 November Tango Zulu departure.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby.
Moresby November Tango Zulu departed Candrian, time 06, tracking 043 on climb 7,000, estimating Hoskins 34.
Moresby 1271.
November Tango Zulu, on climb 7,000, no reported traffic.
November Tango Zulu.
November Tango Zulu, Moresby, top of climb, request check call 127.1, primary, secondary 8861 or 5565.
Top of climb, we'll contact you 127.1, 88615565, November Tango Zulu. So, yeah, we're flying in the islands of Papua New Guinea. Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see exactly where we are. We're stationed typically here in Goroka. But for yesterday and today, we're out here in the islands. And we have, because the island, let's see, it's only about 50 miles wide. Yeah, 50 miles wide. We have a rainy season on one side of the island at all given times. So right now it's rainy season all on the south side. So we've got a lot of weather out here off of the coast. That's why there's so many clouds here. But once we get over this middle marker, this middle mountain range, it should be clear on the other side of the island. You'll see such a huge stark difference. It just makes flying difficult here, more so in the islands, because any given day there's going to be crap weather that you deal with at one point in your day, because all of our locations are on this side of the island. So whether it be this time of year or next part of the year, like kind of December, January, then Hoskins is going to be the difficult place to get back into. Well, now that we're leveling off at 7,000, looks like we should be able to get right above all these clouds above us. I'm going to set up the descent profile and then talk about a little bit more the G1000, some of the extra features that I personally don't use just because it's so much information. But we want to be coming in down to Hoskins at 1,000 feet. So I'm going to set in 1,000 feet for my pattern altitude, hit enter. And it puts in a vertical speed target automatically, but we can change that of what we actually want. So we can scroll down here and let's just put in like 500 feet per minute. I'm going to hit enter and it tells you like your flight path, what it's going to be, basically a 2% descent profile all the way down. As our top of descent is going to be in 9 minutes and 54 seconds. And as we start going down, then I'll show you the rest of the G1000 and all the cool little things that it has on here that you might actually find really useful. I just find it to be a little more extra information that I don't really need.
Might have to go a little bit to the left potentially.
All right. You can see right here, see how the clouds they just drop off over here?
Yep.
That's very typical. So as the days go on, this will build up to 20,000 feet and just make it really difficult to go through. I've done that route so many times.
Just going around the terrain.
You just go 10 miles out to the left and you go around all the terrain and you stay out of all the middle of the island's weather.
Okay.
Just in an hour, not even an hour, these have already gone up another 1,000 feet at least, because they were below us at 7,000 by maybe 300 or 400 feet. We got about a minute left before our top of descent. You can see we've got a top of descent mark right here, as well as like if we were to come to the big map, they'll put a top of descent.
Okay.
So we've already got 1,000 foot here selected with our altitude down here to 1,000 feet for a pattern altitude, and it will actually
vertical track.
It's going to put this little thing up here in just a second.
Vertical track.
There we go. Now you can see it's got a vertical guidance here. Looks like we're above our glide slope.
I'm gonna wait because of the cloud, and then I think on the other side of this we can.
All right. Yep. All right. So he's already set up his autopilot, and we've got a couple things here. It says the vertical speed required is 516. Vertical speed target is 534. So you've got over here, you have this little magenta arrow right here, and then you have this little cyan bug you can start slowly coming up. He's got it set in at 600 feet here, and that's why this says 600 right here in cyan. 1,000 feet in magenta is referring to the 1,000 feet that he has altitude selected here, and then we have it turned down to 1,000 feet. Now, because we have it set up, because we're kind of on heading mode right now, we're not actually following our track coming in. Once we get over here, what I can do is I'll hit direct to, and then we can see that all of our boxes will actually go down at an angle. If we hit, like, let's hit direct to Hoskins, and then we've got our descent profile coming in. I turned it down to 500 feet instead of 600 because we hadn't gotten to our top of descent.
Okay.
So now that we're at our top of descent, according to this, then it threw up our vertical guidance box again. It moved up all of our boxes now. Now I did all this just so I could get here now that we're getting closer to the boxes. Now it's actually showing how the boxes are actually going down to 1,000 feet. This is basically like an ILS, more or less. Yeah, what I was saying is here, once we line up our little cyan altitude selector, the vertical speed down here, once those two line up, then basically you're matching up these two numbers here, the 495 and the 472, and it puts a little cyan banana or a little arc on the screen, and that lets you know you're going to get to the desired altitude of 1,000 right where you want to. Yeah, it's a really handy tool. It gives you a lot of information, maybe some more information than you really might need, but I guess it is all useful. One way you could use this is if you were flying into, let's say, Goroka, and you wanted to set up your own kind of descent profile, more or less an ILS coming in. It would be illegal, but you could do it to fly in IMC conditions. But yeah, absolute worst case scenario, you could do it.
All stations Hoskins, November Tango Zulu is 9 miles to the southwest, 2,500 on descent, estimating circuit time 3-3.
And also, I forgot, you also have the bottom of descent. Once you actually start your descent, you'll be getting to your bottom descent in this many minutes. So one thing I wish it had was, rather than telling you top of descent's in this many minutes, I would like to have a way that you could say your top of descent's at this many miles from this certain point, or in this many miles it's your top of descent will be, because that's usually what, well, at least Port Moresby, that's what they want to know, is how many miles before you get to Port Moresby do they want for your top of descent.
Sure.
I don't see anybody
Nobody's
here.
there, yeah. We'll just let them know I'm overhead, left downwind, or entering a left downwind.
All stations Hoskins, Kodiak November Tango Zulu is overhead the runway, entering a left downwind for 1-2.
All these plantations you guys see out here, that's all palm oil plantations. Quite a bit from here all the way up to Cam Bay, as well as all the way out there towards Biala as well. I've shown you guys out that way. Pretty much everywhere around on this island. One thing, Jeff, I have to commend you with, you have really good rudder control. A lot better than me.
Been really working on it. Brent's been hammered in.
I've tried so hard for so many years, and that's something I still struggle with, so good on you.
Slowing here, a little more power out. Full flaps. List is complete. Left of center, we'll get lined up here.
500.
A little higher descent rate than I want, slow in. I'm just going to work really hard on getting the timing of the flare and then hold my nose wheel off.
All right. That's a lot smoother though, and look at that, you're dead center.
Center.
Yeah. Thanks guys for joining on that short little flight. Hope you guys enjoyed that, just a little tutorial about a little bit more information on the descent profile. Like I said, there's so much information here on the G1000 that I just don't even use because there's just so much. But it's nice to have it when you do need it. So anyways, if you guys want to pick up one of these boxes, you saw Jeff using today for takeoff, landing. You can use them in your home sim, you can use them in a plane or whatever. If you're a flight school, they'd be a really great tool. But I've got them for like pistons, turbines, and even like smaller planes like 172s and stuff. So anyways, thanks for joining along on today's flight, and see you guys next time.